Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to J.J. Isaacson Field here at Seymour Smith Park for Tuesday Night Baseball, our first of two here on the Corn Belt League Network. The 7-10 Rail Riders taking on the 6-13 Cropdusters. My name is Jaden Taylor. Alongside me is Ethan McCormick. A beautiful day for baseball. Back-to-back great days here in Omaha, Nebraska. And yesterday saw a little bit more of a breeze. Seeing a little bit of a breeze here today, but probably not going to be as much of a factor as it was yesterday.
Right. The humidity's down in Omaha, which is kind of rare because you never know in Omaha if you're going to get those really hot, humid days or those kind of cool, breezy days. Today we got one of those cool, breezier summer days, so the ball should be flying out tonight. It should be a fun one.
Yeah, two teams that have kind of found themselves offensively a little bit these last couple of weeks, but still trying to dig themselves out of the bottom half of these Corn Belt League standings. Let's get you a quick look at our last couple of games these past weeks. Let's take a quick look at Thursday. The biggest game that we saw in this one was the Rail Riders taking down the Filth Ballers in this one, a 4-3 win. It was a big upset for the Filth Ballers, who have been arguably the best team all summer long. Garrett Vosica, for the second time, took down the Filth Ballers in a magnificent showcase for him. He has just been a dominant piece to the Rail Riders pitching staff this season, and he's mainly not even the number one. You've seen Austin Shelton mainly be the number one, but Vosica apparently has the number of the Filth Ballers. Now let's look at Friday. We saw the Cropdusters fall to the Haymakers 4-1 in that one. Again, pitching staff was there, but the hitting was a struggling piece for the Cropdusters. They just have not been able to find the offensive pieces that they've been needing so far this season. A league worst 208 average, as well as a league worst 346 on base percentage. Then we see our next day on Saturday. We got a couple of games over the weekend. Both the Rail Riders with the doubleheader. They lost two of them. Back-to-back times we've seen a doubleheader for the Rail Riders, and it seems like it's just too much for their pitching staff.
Yeah, man, those back-to-back, those double headers are pretty tough. They probably are throwing their best pitcher their first game, and in their second game they're getting tired, they're getting worn out. So yeah, those second games, those back-to-backs are pretty tough on them.
Yeah, we saw that earlier in the season when we saw the Rail Riders taking on both the Royal Blue Dogs and the Cropdusters. They lost a 14-8 game to start off with, and the second game, which is a blowout, a 12-2 loss the second time. And again, I think the Rail Riders really struggling those doubleheader matchups. The Cropdusters, again, we see both of these teams we're going to see here today are the two teams that have somehow been able to take down the Filth Ballers in upset fashion. The Cropdusters, A.J. Ventry, a complete game, 116 pitches through 7 innings for him. He's been going the distance 4 of his 5 times he's been out on the mound this season. He went up against the Filth Ballers and did exactly what they needed. 2 home runs from the Cropdusters in that one, from Blake Peabody as well as Anthony Comfort, a familiar name in the Cropdusters pitching staff. Ended up taking one out there in Council Bluffs, but a big win for them. Let's look now at Sunday. Still, neither of these teams still trying to work back and forth. Neither of these teams able to have too much consistency on offense, but the Rail Riders able to take down the Bombers. A.J. Urbaum with a bomb in that one up against the Bombers. That would end up actually being the piece that made the difference up against the Bombers. They try to come back later in that one. Then the Cropdusters, again, down 10-4 in the bottom of the 7th, scored 3 more to try to make it interesting, but a couple odd plays, and the Royal Blue Dogs were able to get out of it. A strong day from Braden Bach coming out of the bullpen to work for the Royal Blue Dogs after Evan Heave only went about an inning and a third, working a little bit of a rehab start for him. We're most likely to see him later this next week for Evan Heave to see if he's fully back and healthy. Now let's look at yesterday's games. a 5-game slate here in the Corn Belt League. The Rail Riders, that one a 14-7 loss for them, but here's the big thing. 14 unanswered runs for the Black Sox. The Rail Riders started off that one with 7 runs in the top of the first, an 8-run third inning, and the Black Sox just blew it open after that. And who would have thought after being up 7-0 through the first inning, you would be down 14-7 to end the game. The Field Ballers then blow out the Red Raiders. In the first game, they end up being down for the majority of the game against the Red Raiders in their second one. Maybe a little bit of a tired pitching staff, different guys not quite able to match up with the Red Raiders. However, Brendan Anderson, the name we've been hearing all season long, coming through with an RBI single up the middle in the top of the 7th inning up against a taxed bullpen. They had to go with Josh Ostin, who had already thrown 60 pitches just 2 days before. Ostin came out and struggled in that one to try to help out with some of the other bullpen pieces. But it didn't quite work for them, and the Field Ballers were able to hold on. The Red Raiders dropped to a measly 3-15. The Field Ballers move back up to the top spot. Let's look at our 2 games here today before we get into the standings coming in this one. But you'll see 2 games here today at Seymour Smith Park. That's going to be it. The Cropdusters taking on the Rail Riders coming up next in our nightcap here at J.J. Isaacson Field. The Royal Blue Dogs taking on the Bombers. But now let's take a quick look at the standings going into today. Of course, only 2 games. A lot of teams with the day off both today as well as the normal day off on Wednesday. But the biggest thing to see at that top spot, with the Field Ballers winning, they are able to not only get a little bit ahead of the Black Sox, but have a lot more of a difference with only about 2 weeks left to go. The Haymakers and Bombers are going to battle out for that 3 spot. Royal Blue Dogs still nearing themselves towards 500, just 2 games behind the Rail Riders and Cropdusters, and then Red Raiders all rounding out the bottom of the Corn Belt League standings. There's going to be a lot that can change really in the middle half, but I think the top and the bottom are really solidified. What do the Rail Riders and the Cropdusters have to do today, Ethan, to find themselves maybe a way to move to the middle and maybe compete against the Royal Blue Dogs and Bombers?
I think the key today is going to get that offense going. I think it's going to be a key pitching battle today. I think the offense has to get going. The wind's going to be blowing out to right field. It's not humid. It's not hot. I think the key is going to be hitting, seeing if you can spray the ball to all fields off of both these pitchers. Yeah, the hitting has been there for the Rail Riders. We'll talk about a couple different guys, but the guy we want to talk about for them is going to be Gabriel Baker. Baker is been a guy that's been able to help out this offense, but it's been kind of a quiet guy. You don't really see him too much as a power guy, but he's been a guy that has a lot of speed in the base paths, 4 stolen bases, does have 2 doubles and 2 triples, a 375 average, and he's not just the main guy that's been able to help out through the piece of this lineup. I mean, we've seen Whit Rogers, who's going to be in the lineup here today. We've seen a couple other guys. Braden Archer's been another speedy guy. A.J. Urban has been a huge guy. P.J. Laux has slowed down a little bit to start off the back half of the season, but is still a really strong hitter. So, again, you mentioned hitting. This is going to be a big factor here today. Yeah, the Rail Riders have a pretty complete lineup. They got 7, 8 guys that can go and hit. They all hit for average. They all hit very well, and a lot of them have speed, so they can get on the base paths, create something, not only at the plate, but also on the base paths to hopefully get some offense going early and get it started going. Yeah, the depth of the pitching staff has been kind of the biggest question so far this season for the Rail Riders. But let's look at the other side for the Cropdusters. Our impact player for them is going to be Braxton Wilhelm, a guy who we saw just a Tuesday ago being our mic'd up guy over there at second. Today, he is going to be not in the lineup. He will be in the lineup, but will not be playing defensively. He'll be the designated or the extra hitter for this lineup here today for the Cropdusters. Not hitting great 208, but he's going to be a guy I really think that can round out this order and be able to help give some energy to this team that is much needed throughout these last couple of games. Right, Braxton Wilhelm, this could be his turnaround game for him. Yeah, like you said, this could be the game where he starts to round out his game going into the back half of the season. So, yeah, I'm going to be looking for Braxton Wilhelm to get things going and give the Cropdusters that extra little push to give them the win that they need. Yeah, Wilhelm does have 2 stolen bases, an OPS of 733, so again, does have the ability to produce offensively when need be, but the biggest question mark is going to be these 2 pitching staffs. We'll take a quick break here on the Corn Belt League YouTube channel. We're just moments away from first pitch here at J.J. Isaacson Field. We'll be back.
Back here at J.J. Isaacson Field, just moments away from first pitch. And sadly, you just missed another Cropdusters versus Rail Riders matchup outside of the game itself. Who could get off the line the latest after the national anthem? We saw Whit Rogers a little bit ago. Last time these two teams faced off, this time it was Braxton Wilhelm as well as Cole Ryan. Let's do a quick look at the Rail Riders lineup here today. They'll start it off with their center fielder, number 50, Braden Archer. Then batting second, the designated hitter, Gabriel Baker. Number 28, batting third, their left fielder, Derek Enertson. Third baseman, A.J. Erbaum, number 38, will bat fourth. Batting fifth, big hit Whit Rogers, first baseman. Batting sixth, P.J. Laux, shortstop. Batting seventh, the catcher, Jackson Van Pelt. Extra hitting in the 8th spot, Cedric Dunwalt. At the 9th spot, the second baseman, Nolan Chandler. And rounding out the order for the Rail Riders be Garrett Globe, their right fielder. Started off on the mound, it'll be Thatcher Poteet for the Cropdusters. The first pitch into Braden Archer is outside in the ball.
Yeah, I'm looking for Thatcher Petit here to be solidifying the outer half of the strike zone. See what the umpire is going to be going with early. See if he can hammer that.
This one flared out into left field. That one's going to drop for a single for Braden Archer, and a good way to start it off for this Rail Riders offense that has been potent as of recent. A team average of 266, an overall OPS of 711. And this group is kind of trying to stay consistent this season, find their way out of the bottom of the CBL standings. And this has been a guy that's been really efficient so far this season, Gabriel Baker. Trying to add on something here to speedy Braden Archer over there at first. First pitch to Baker is in there for a strike.
Yeah, if you're Thatcher Petit, you want to vary your looks between the runner on the hitter, but you also want to give the hitter your full attention. You don't want to take this hitter lightly because Gabriel Baker is one of the most solid hitters on this Rail Riders team, so you want to kind of divide your attention between the two.
Archer has a team best 12 stolen bases this season, so definitely going to have to make sure they keep an eye on him. The Burt grad has been rounding out the top of the order the majority of this season for the Rail Riders. We've seen both him, a little bit of P.J. Laux, and we've seen here Gabriel Baker at the top of the order a little bit as well. Archer has just been caught stealing just once this season in his 13 attempts. Poteet trying to stall there, 0-2. This one fouled back. Poteet this season, in 5 appearances, this will be his 4th start, has a 3.73 ERA with a 1.45 whip. 20 strikeouts compared to 11 walks, and just like one of his counterparts in Anthony Comfort, he's had to both help on the mound as well as offensively. He's been the main catcher for the Cropdusters this season, as he'll go back and take a look at Braden Archer.
Yeah, you can see Thatcher Poteet right there, giving Braden Archer, keeping him on his toes. I expect Braden Archer to be stealing at least within the first out or 2 in this inning, but still Thatcher Poteet's got to be looking over there, giving him the look still.
0-2 pitch once again is upstairs for a ball. And a little shake of the head right there for Thatcher Poteet, trying to maybe change the eye level once again up against Gabriel Baker. Nathan Wickham is behind home plate here today. Again, kind of the more secondary catcher for this Cropduster team behind Thatcher Poteet. Archer a pretty normal lead. 1-2 pitch just outside. Try to work him on another fastball, but couldn't get it quite on the edge of the zone. Even the count back up at 2 apiece.
Yeah, the first inning is key for these pitchers to figure out what the umpire zone is and trying to attack the zone early and trying to just figure out also how the Rail Riders hitters are reacting to your stuff.
2-2 pitch, another piece of off-speed right there. Good job by Gabriel Baker to chop that one foul. He's really working this count. Baker, we talked, is our impact player here today. He's 12 for 32 on the year, 2 doubles and 2 triples. 7 RBIs and has come around to score 7 times as well. Working a long count here up against Thatcher Poteet, who's had to keep an eye on Braden Archer over there at first. 2-2 pitch. That one gets away from Wickham. It's going to be a free base for Braden Archer. It takes the double play out of order. And odd enough for how well Thatcher Poteet was able to keep on Archer at first, it's to no avail as it gets away from Wickham.
Yeah, that's a key play right there for the Cropdusters. It allowed a speedy Braden Archer to get to second. Now the Rail Riders are in scoring position early.
Full count now to Baker. And swung on, tipped back into the catcher's mitt to Nathan Wickham. And a long first out for Thatcher Poteet, able to get the strikeout, his first of the day. First out of this ball game for them. It was a 9-pitch at bat to Gabriel Baker, and even though it's still an out, you still got to give some credit to Baker for even early on in this one trying to work through just about all that Poteet offers. Archer is out from second, throw down to third is way and off the glove of Logan Davis at third and stays in the infield, but the throw was high from Nathan Wickham. And now Archer, right after flaring a single into left, this is what he does best. Sometimes just figures a way on and then makes a single into a 3-bagger with his speed.
That was a good job right there by Logan Davis on stopping that ball from going to the outfield, which definitely saved a run, which we'll see if Thatcher Poteet can work a count here, get a key out, and hopefully get out of this inning with no damage.
This is Derek Enertson, the left fielder. And now this counts even back up at 1-1. Aaron, it's 1-1. Poteet really slowing down here, working up against Enertson as well as Baker. And he deals that one way away from Nathan Wickham. Archer's going to come home. He's going to stand up safely. And look at that. Those are the type of things that Braden Archer can do. Might not be the biggest power threat, but when he can get on, he can make the defense just collapse. And that's what happened right there. A pass ball, a stolen base, and a wild pitch after the single, and he comes all the way around to be the first Rail Riders run.
Right, Braden Archer's speed is almost as intimidating as someone with a lot of power, right? He gets on base, you're worried about him stealing, getting to second, getting to third quickly, so it kind of gets in the pitcher's head.
2-1 pitch here, this one chopped over to third. Logan Davis able to grab it, throw on to first in time. Good stretch right there by Anthony Comfort. They'll throw it around for the second out of the inning. But either way, I think you still got to give credit to Baker as well as Enertson. just kind of work a lot of long counts and maybe put Poteet a little bit more in a little more stressful positions and give up the first run of the day.
Yeah, working the count on Poteet here for the Rail Riders is definitely the key. You want to get him out early, see if you can work into that Cropdusters bullpen, see if you can work as many pitchers as possible throughout this game.
Poteet now working on A.J. Urbon. He drives this one foul down the right field line. It's going to get too far away from Caleb Horner out there in right. It's the first strike of the at-bat.
If I'm Thatcher Poteet, I'm just throwing gas right here. I'm throwing gas maybe at least the first 2 pitches of this at-bat, seeing how he reacts. He was late on that first one. Maybe throw another heater just to see if he's late on it. But if not, you could drop off a breaking ball and see how he's reacting to that as well.
Second pitch is outside for ball 1. Even the count back up at 1 apiece. Poteet does work a 3-pitch mix, the fastball, slider, and change. Slider's going to work a little bit like a slurve, is his kind of 3-quarter look. As that kind of movement. 1-1 pitch, ground ball down the left field line and foul.
Yeah, like you said, Thatcher Poteet, that slider comes out. He's got a really interesting delivery angle, and it's almost hard for the Rail Riders to kind of pick up that spin and pick up his arm angle. So it'll be interesting to see if he can work that with his changeup and get hitters off balance and really, really off key early.
13th pitch of this first inning. And it's a strikeout for Thatcher Poteet, the second of the inning. However, the Rail Riders do strike first. Braden Artzer, after singling to start off the inning, comes around on a pass ball, a stolen base, and a wild pitch, and that's the speed that the Rail Riders show off. They lead 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the first. Start off the bottom of the first. The Rail Riders lead this one 1-0. And they'll start it off with their designated hitter, Jack Tilton, as he grounds this one over to third. A.J. Urbon coming on. Strong throw off as he was coming in towards that ball. A little bit of a hard angle throw behind him. And a good job to be able to get the first out of the inning up against Jack Tilton.
That's just the start you want if you're Riley Lang and the Rail Riders. 1 pitch, 1 out. Great play over there by A.J. Urbon, showing off the arm, showing off the glove, and the difficult arm angle right there on the throw, but he unleashed a seed over to the first base. But that's a really efficient start right there for Riley Lang, and we'll see if he can carry that efficiency throughout the game. The Rail Riders kind of need him to go deep into this game.
Yeah, the depth of pitching has sometimes been the issue for a lot of different teams, so needing a strong start from your starter has been a point of emphasis for a lot of different coaches here in the Corn Belt League. This is Cade Owens, the left fielder, as he chases one way out of the zone, shaking his head a little bit on that one. Owens has quietly been one of the best hitters for the Cropdusters this season, hitting .324, 12 for 37 on the season with a .733 OPS, as he fouls that one straight back on the 0-2. Currently leads the team with 8 RBI, and is second on the team with 10 runs coming in. You talked about Braden Archer being the speed threat for the Rail Riders. Owens is the speed threat for the Cropdusters. 12 stolen bases this season. 1-2 once again is fouled. 0-2 once again is fouled back.
Yeah, if the Cropdusters can get Owens on base, that would be key, because maybe they could do a little small ball type of action, see if they can work him over to second or third for the next hitter to plant one in the gap. But Owens is a very dangerous base runner.
Fifth pitch of the at-bat. This one driven into left center field. Braden Archer and Derek Ederson are going to come in. Ederson's going to call off Archer. He'll make the play. And 2 up, 2 down pretty quickly for Riley Lang, and an efficient start for him.
Yeah, the Rail Riders need this. They need this almost on an inning-to-inning basis. The Rail Riders are probably looking for him to go at least 5 to 6 innings here, trying to work deep, because like you said, the pitching depth for the Rail Riders, it hurts them a little bit, so they'll need Riley Lang to go deep into this game.
This is Nathan Wickham. Wickham leads the team in average .367 on the season. That's why he's in the 3 spot. Currently going to College of St. Scholastica. He's an Elkhorn South grad here in Elkhorn, Nebraska. He's an .842 OPS this year. And again, it's mainly been him, Tilton, Poteet, and Comfort, I think, have been the top extra base hit threats of this season. He's trying to put something on here up against Lang. Curveball in there. Excuse me, actually, they're going to call that one up. It'll be 2-1.
And looking at the Cropdusters' top 4 hitters in their lineup today, they've got the 4 best hitters on their team in the top of their lineup today. So it's going to be key for them to get that top half of the lineup going early.
2-1 is not in there for a ball. And Lang working quickly down 3-1. 3-1 pitch. This one pops shallow into center field. Braden Archer coming on and somehow makes the play. Basket catch. 3 guys converge on the ball, and Archer somehow grabs it in front of him. 4-1. Rail Riders, a strong start from Riley Lang. 3 up, 3 down from him. We'll head to the second. The Rail Riders looking to add on to their 1-0 lead. Rogers will started off in the top of the second for the Rail Riders. If you've been watching a lot of these games for the Rail Riders here on the Corn Belt League YouTube channel, you know that Big Hit Witt is definitely a fan favorite up here. One of the most enigmatic guys that we've seen in the Corn Belt League this season. He's actually been hitting pretty consistently as of recent. Started off slowly this season, but has now worked his average back up to 300, 9 for 30 on this season with 3 doubles, and he drives this one up the middle for a single. And you can hear the shouts from the dugout. A clubhouse favorite, Whit Rogers, starts it off here in the second.
Hey, he took that second pitch right up the middle, and like you said, he's an electric factory. This is a guy that every team wants, and he's just, his antics are what keeps the game fun, and he's just, one of those guys you really want on your team.
Yeah, he's had a kind of a way of knowing how to get the fans and get the people in his dugout going, no matter what small thing it is. Out of Texas A&M Texarkana, Witt is a guy that played a majority of high school days in Arkansas. And definitely does have a big personality. This one grounded over to third off the glove of Logan Davis. P.J. Laux sends this one down the line. He'll stay at first with a single as Whit Rogers will head into second. And 2 batters and 2 on here for the Rail Riders in the second. They look to have another threat here as they'll bring up the catcher Jackson Van Pelt.
Yeah, it's been 4 pitches and 2 hits, and the Rail Riders are just seeing Thatcher Poteet's stuff early in the count. They're not really letting him get comfortable on the mound. They're going up there. They're attacking the first 1 to 2 pitches of the at-bat. The Rail Riders, they got to keep that going if they want to score a lot of runs.
This is Jackson Van Pelt, like we mentioned, looking for his 7th RBI of the season. He's currently batting .263, 5 for 19 on the year. He's been the mainstay behind home plate for the Rail Riders this season. We've both seen him, well as Keegan McLaughlin, they've been kind of battling back and forth between that spot. 1-0 pitch is outside, and Poteet now maybe dealing with some discomfort. He's fallen behind here the last 2 batters. But again, the Rail Riders have been pouncing early on some of those fastballs. 2-0 pitch is outside once again. And Poteet in jeopardy now of loading the bases.
Poteet looks really uncomfortable out on the mound. You can tell these first 2 hitters have really frustrated Poteet out on the mound, and we'll see if Jackson Van Pelt, can get something going and add some insurance.
3-0 pitch, no green light from Van Pelt's in there for a strike.
Yeah, Poteet.
Yeah, Poteet's going to need to find a way to adjust here. Really struggling out on the mound so far here in the second. Nobody gone and 2 on. 3-1 pitch, swung on and missed. Little chase a little bit way out in front was Jackson Van Pelt. And we'll see if Poteet can climb the ladder, working all the way back after down 3-0. Full count pitch outside for ball 4. Poteet tries to come all the way back but misses on the full count pitch. And after 2 singles from Whit Rogers and P.J. Laux, Jackson Van Pelt walks. And bases loaded here with nobody out. And the Rail Riders with the prime opportunity to add on some more here early.
Yeah, Thatcher Poteet just does not look comfortable out on the mound, but this at-bat, he's going to have to find his command in his fastball and work off of that.
First pitch to the extra hitter, Cedric Dunwald. Dunwald will chase at a fastball outside. Again, it's becoming a reoccurring theme here. We've really seen all these Rail Riders hitters just pounce on that early fastball. Must be some kind of point of emphasis that we're going to see here from Coach Jonathan Francisco. This one grounded over to short. And 6-4-3 double play. The Rail Riders will take 2 outs for a run. But I would take that as well if I'm the Cropdusters. After bases loaded, now 2 outs here with a runner at third. 1 run does come in. The Rail Riders now lead this one 2-0.
Yeah, you sacrifice a run on that double play, but like you said, you'll take the 2 outs because now you've got 2 outs. Now you've got 1 out to work with. But granted, you have a guy on third. You've got 2 bases open, so a walk necessarily wouldn't hurt here if you're Thatcher Poteet.
It's a tailor-made double play between Dakota Hogan, Max Childress, and Anthony Comfort. And definitely maybe a little bit of a sigh of relief. This one's still in reach. It's 2-0 in favor of the Rail Riders here.
Yeah, Thatcher Poteet, if you're maybe looking to drop that slider with that weird arm angle here on an 0-2 count and just get out of this inning, limiting as much damage as possible.
Nolan Chandler strikes out on 3 pitches. A good way to answer back and minimize from Thatcher Poteet. The Rail Riders do show off the damage and add on one more, but could have been a lot worse. Poteet works out of it. 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the second here at J.J. Isaacson Field. Quickly back here in the bottom of the second, Riley Lang. His first pitch swung on and missed right there by Anthony Comfort. Lang was able to get out of the first on a 1-2-3 inning. Ground ball to third and 2 flyouts, and he's working quickly here in the second. Comfort grounds this one up the middle. PJ Laux, long throw, but in time. Beautiful stretch right there from Whit Rogers. And maybe a little bit of tip of the cap to him right there. First out of the inning. And Lang, and a guy who has somewhat struggled for this pitching staff this season, looks just beautiful right now to start off this inning in the third.
Yeah, he had 11 pitches in that first inning, and then within 2 pitches in the second inning, he's gotten out. He's working very efficiently. That pitch count is right where you want it to be if you're the Rail Riders, and his defense is backing him up, which is the most important thing.
First pitch to Dakota Hogan. That one's popped foul.
Yeah. Riley Lang is just attacking the zone here. He's making these Cropdusters hitters decide what they want to do early and figure out Riley Lang. But Riley Lang's varying his arm speeds and varying his pitch mix, so we'll see.
Off speed outside. Evens the count back up at 1 apiece to Dakota Hogan. Hogan this season hitting .231, 6 for 26 on the year. Does not have an extra base hit. That one fouled back right at us. And Hogan falls behind 1-2.
I think I would have made that play, Jaden, if that net wasn't there. I think with, both you and I are POs, so I think we've got that
pitchers are athletes.
Yeah, pitchers are
athletes.
We would have made that play.
1-2 pitch coming here from Lang. That one upstairs for a ball on the fastball. I think definitely myself, I like that kind of look. You look at the fastball upstairs, maybe to change the eye level to get him to chase. See if it'll go off speed, trying to work in the outer half. There's the off speed. This one driven into center, and that one will drop in front of Braden Artzer as Dakota Hogan will get on with a 1-out single.
Good job right there by Dakota Hogan on reading that pitch on the outer half of the plate and just poking his bat out there, putting it into center field. Now the Cropdusters got some business on first, and let's see if they can capitalize.
Hogan does have 1 stolen base this season, not a huge speed threat. But looking here now at Max Childress. Childress just ended his senior season at College Station High School in Texas. He is the son of Rob Childress, the current director of player development at Nebraska University. Guys somewhat struggled so far, came in midway to the season, but trying to find his way back here in the back half of this Corn Belt League year.
Yeah, Childress has got that Nebraska connection, so you almost think that playing in the Corn Belt was an easy move for him because his dad, like you said, is the player development coach up here at Nebraska, so you almost have to think that was an easy move for him to come up here to Omaha and play for the Corn Belt.
Throw back to first as Dakota Hogan almost got off. Rogers playing with him a little bit, almost pushed him off the bag, having a little fun out there at first. Childress again just 2 for 18 on the year with 3 RBI. As he'll look at a 2-0 fastball that clips the outer half for strike 1.
That was a good spot right there for Riley Lang, solidifying that outer half of the zone. Childress didn't like that call, but Lang obviously enjoyed that call, so he's just got to keep painting that outer half.
2-1 from Lang. Off speed, got him looking a little bit at that one from Childress. Or guessing, excuse me, pardon me. From Childress right there. Definitely way behind on that off speed. Definitely probably looking fastball. 2-2 pitch, another off speed just outside. And Riley Lang has really been trying to establish that outer half. We'll see if these Cropdusters can adjust and try to poke one the other way. Left center gap is open as Braden Artzer's shading more pull side here to Childress. There he goes. We talk about it, left center gap. This one flared out there. Able to make the play is Derek Enertson. Dakota Hogan was caught in between first and second, but luckily able to get back as the throw was wide away from Whit Rogers. He was able to get in front of it, but Hogan maybe sleeping a little bit there, thinking there was 2 outs when there's only 1.
Yeah, Derek Enertson almost caught Dakota Hogan sleeping on the base pass. That would have been a really, really unfortunate turn of events right there for the Cropdusters. That's not how you want to end an inning right there.
Yeah, Childress just barely getting under that ball. Could have been driven into an open gap out there in left center field. Hogan is off. Throw from his knees from Van Pelt is going to go into center field. But a job by Nolan Chandler to keep it in front of him. Well, it's the second stolen base of the season for Dakota Hogan. And talk about caught napping a little bit. I think Lang was not thinking too much about Hogan at first and didn't even give him a look.
Yeah, Riley Lang's release and wind up or stretch was a little slow there, and Dakota Hogan just got a great jump, took advantage of that. Now Cropdusters got business.
First pitch was a ball. Second pitch here to Logan Davis. That one fouled and out of play, even it back up. Davis this season, another guy at the bottom half of this order that has really struggled for this Cropduster team. 1 for 21 on the year. Has come around 7 times for 7 runs. Trying to maybe find an RBI opportunity here with 2 gone. That's kind of been the biggest thing for the Cropdusters this season. A league worst, just 4 players with an average over 300, just 7 with an average over 200. So the bottom half of the order has been kind of a turntable, just kind of a lazy Susan as Jared Jones kind of had to work different guys through the bottom of the order. Logan Davis drives this one down the right field line foul.
I'm Riley Lang. I'm blowing a fastball right by him here. I'm rising the eye level here. He worked that one inside, but Logan Davis was able to turn on that ball. I'm rising the eyes, and I'm blowing heat right past him here to go into the top half of the third.
And I think last time you tried to do that, you gave a little bit too much to upstairs, and then you gave an off speed to Hogan as Hogan's keeping in the mind of Riley Lang. That can be a setup, right? That's your setup piece. You're trying to set up the eyes upstairs, then go with an off speed down low to switch it up. You got to give a little bit more to Davis so he can chase right on the edge of the zone. That one way away. Good job by Van Pelt to keep it in front of him and kept Hogan at second. We'll move the count full now.
That's obviously not the spot where Riley Lang wanted to put that pitch. He brought it a little too far inside. I think he wanted to keep that one towards the middle to outer half of the plate.
I think he just overly yanked that one. I think that was an attempt to just blow it by him and kind of got way too far out in front. Full count pitch. Fastball upstairs, and it's out of the zone. And the first walk of the day for Riley Lang. And now 2 runners on here for the extra hitter. Our impact player of the day here in the 8 spot, Braxton Wilhelm. As Jackson Van Pelt will have a quick chat with Riley Lang. A spot here for the Cropdusters to try to work down after being down 2.
Yeah,
Wilhelm could be the guy.
We were talking about Wilhelm being our player of the game and how we wanted to see him start turning stuff around and how he could start to turn stuff around. This is the at-bat to do so. You got a runner on first and second, put one in the gap, and this could be a tied ball game.
Wilhelm with 2 RBI this season. Another RBI opportunity in front of him with Dakota Hogan out there at second, Logan Davis at first. Lang with 3 looks back to Hogan, and Wilhelm calls time. Wilhelm out of Dakota Wesleyan is now going to go to Minnesota Morris after this season. He looks the first pitch curveball in there for a strike.
Very interesting to see a curveball on the first pitch, but I kind of like it. I kind of like it setting that off speed, or that breaking ball, first, and then maybe you go fastball outside to kind of solidify the miles per hour points here.
You called it there, but it kind of went in the dirt from Lang. Even the count back up at 1 apiece. Big spot here for Braxton Wilhelm after a great inning from Riley Lang in the first. Kind of struggling here in the second. 1-1 pitch once again. That time an off speed in the dirt. And Wilhelm finds himself ahead 2-1. Lang, we mentioned, has kind of been one of the struggling pieces out of the bullpen this season. Has started 2 of his 3 opportunities on the mound. However, 14 earned runs and 12 walks coming into this one. The command has not always been there as he's struggling here, but he gets Wilhelm to chase a little bit outside and foul it back.
Yeah, you went absolute velocity right there on that pitch. I say this one, you maybe drop a little off of it, put one in the dirt, see if he starts golfing at it. It is golf season, see if maybe he can golf at this one, or you could utilize that changeup, paint one inside, and freeze him.
Lang trying to get out of the inning unscathed. 2 runners on here with 2 outs. Wilhelm swings and misses on that pitch outside. And that'll end the inning. Riley Lang, a little bit of danger there, but finds himself out of it. He's shaking his head a little bit, laughing that one off, but a good mentality either way. The Rail Riders in a good mood, up 2-0 as we head to the third. 2 here at J.J. Isaacson Field, and our first of 2 here on Tuesday Night Baseball. We have the Cropdusters currently down to the Rail Riders 2-0. And this will bring up 10-1-2 here for the Rail Riders. They scored 1 in the first and 1 in the second. This is Garrett Globe, the right fielder. First pitch from Poteet, that one fouled off his foot. A little bit of a change-up time, but still to get it out of the way. And you heard the shouts from the fans as well as the dugout here for the Rail Riders. Globe out of Creighton Club Teams, actually one of the presidents of that group. Is there another opportunity for guys going to college to get opportunities playing baseball as he drives that one down the left field line. Globe will head to second, try to work for extra bases. Strong throw in from Cade Owens is not in time. And for the 3rd straight inning, the Rail Riders have a runner on here to start off the inning.
Boy, did he walk a fine line right there down the third base line, took that pitch, took everything with it, and just took it right down the line. Beautiful hit. Closer play at second than I thought it was going to be, but the Rail Riders have business on second with no outs.
That was a much-needed double for Globe, who's struggled out of the bottom of the lineup this season, just hitting 192. That was actually his first extra base hit of this season, so now we flip the lineup card over for the Rail Riders and see Braden Archer, who I think the biggest thing we think about him is speed. Archer, after singling on a flare to left, went to second on a pass ball, stole third, and then came home on a wild pitch. It was the first run of the day for the Rail Riders.
Beautiful pitch right there to even the count at 1-1. That was a way to utilize that outer half of the zone. Now you got Archer kind of questioning whether he wants to attack that outer half or protect maybe still the inner half of the zone.
Outfield playing more pull side as Caleb Copeland really working about 5 to 10 feet more towards right field. Poteet puts another one in the dirt, and that's kind of been an issue for Poteet, not seeing his normal ability to find in the zone. Again, we did mention the walk totals this season haven't been horrible. 11 walks this season compared to 20 strikeouts coming into this one, but it's just fallen behind in a lot of counts here today and has given a lot of fastballs over to the plate to these Rail Riders. So far today, 35 pitches, 21 of them been strikes. He's kind of let go at times. It's giving the Rail Riders kind of this squeeze room for them to find themselves runs. 2-2 pitch coming here from Archer. That one outside for a ball, moves the count full.
You can definitely tell both these pitchers are utilizing that outer half of the zone. It doesn't seem to matter for this home plate umpire if it's a lefty or righty at the plate. He's still going to work that outer half of the zone. So these pitchers have just got to attack that because these hitters don't seem comfortable poking that one out.
A very consistent zone so far from the home plate umpires. You see Braden Archer call time. This one driven down the right field line. That one's going to get down. And Braden Archer is 2 for 2 on the day. He's going to head to second, but Garrett Globe was stopped at third. I thought that was an easy RBI for Braden Archer, but somehow Jonathan Francisco, the third base coach, held up Globe at third. And the double now only advances Globe one base. Now 2 runners in scoring position with nobody gone here, and for the third straight inning, we see Poteet in a little bit of an odd scenario.
I thought the moment that ball was hit that Globe was going to be able to score on that, but Jonathan Francisco had other ideas, and maybe they want to get more on base for the key part of your lineup, Baker, Einerson, and Urban. So maybe you kind of want to give those guys more chances at RBIs.
This one driven into center. And amazing diving play by Caleb Copeland. Both runners are going to tag up and move 90 feet, so a run does come in. But Copeland laid out for that ball in right center field and takes away possibly an extra base hit from Gabriel Baker. It'll count as a sac fly, and the Rail Riders now lead 3-0.
Caleb Copeland ran a long way for that ball, and he went full parallel with the ground to get that. Got the out. Granted, a run did score, but you got to applaud the effort right there from Caleb Copeland right there on that catch.
That'll bring up Derek Enertson, the left fielder, with a runner still on third. That's Braden Archer. The infield is now in here for the Cropdusters. He'll drive this one to right. Caleb Horner retrieving back. He's able to make the catch, but it's deep enough for Braden Archer to come in on an easy sac fly. Back-to-back sac flies after back-to-back doubles. And the Rail Riders tack on one more. It's 4-0.
If you're Thatcher Poteet, this is a clean slate. You got 2 outs, nobody on base. Granted, you've given up 4 runs, but wipe that from your head. You've got to have a short memory and just attack this hitter.
Poteet working quickly. Sees the curveball right there, falling there for a strike. This is A.J. Urban now, struck out to end off the first and his first at-bat of the day. 0-1 pitch coming from him. Did he go? They say he does on the off-speed, way outside the zone. And Urban shaking himself a little bit of that one.
Urban got froze by a curveball in the first pitch and then was reaching for a fastball on the second pitch. We'll see if maybe he can drop one in the dirt because Urban's got a little bit of plate discipline problems going on here.
Poteet tries to get him to chase once again. We'll see the count now move to 1-2. Poteet trying to finally get out of this inning. Gets him to chase strike 3. A.J. Urban chases it 2 pitches outside the zone, and Poteet able to get his 4th strikeout of the day. However, 2 doubles by Garrett Globe and Braden Artzer. They end up coming in on 2 sac flies from Gabriel Baker and Derek Enertson. And the Rail Riders add 2 more. It's 4-0 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Back in here in the bottom of the 3rd. Rail Riders lead this one 4-0 as they added on 2 more in the top of the 3rd. 2 doubles and 2 sac flies brought in 2 more runs. And the Cropdusters kind of in a hole here. Working the bottom of the order here. It's 9, 10, and 1. Caleb Horner, Caleb Copeland, and then back to the top of the order for Jack Tilton. Horner here working on Riley Lang as he flies this one shallow center field. Braden Artzer coming on, and he'll be able to make another spectacular play. The speed out there has been big for Artzer. He's kind of made 2 different unorthodox catches, but either way, it's a quick out here for Riley Lang.
Having such great speed in center field really kind of eases the duties on your left and right fielders, knowing that you have a guy that can cover the gaps and right and left and really, make those unorthodox catches, and it really just also eases Riley Lang out on the mound.
Lang off speed up there, kind of couldn't get too far out in front on that one as it misses high. This is Caleb Copeland. 4 for 28 on the season, does not have an extra base hit. There's 1 walk compared to 3 strikeouts. So again, a guy that's kind of struggled the bottom half of this order here for the Cropdusters.
These hitters have got to adjust to the umpire strike zone. It almost seems like it's expanding a little bit, so we'll see if both sides can adjust.
Copeland swings and misses, chases on another beautiful off-speed from right there from Lang. Again, really other than the single from Dakota Hogan, the walk from Logan Davis this past inning in the 2nd, Lang is really seemed comfortable out there on the mound.
Riley Lang, like you said, he looks very comfortable out on the mound. We'll see. He's working very efficiently here, and he's almost asserting his dominance out there on the mound, making these Cropdusters known that he is out there to stay.
2-2 pitch. They will say he does not go. Or excuse me, they'll call that a foul ball. My apologies on Copeland. Let's keep the count 2-2.
Yeah. Caleb Copeland he went with that pitch, which is interesting, so we'll see if Riley Lang goes upstairs.
Copeland drives one back up into center, gets in front of Braden Artzer. I think back-to-back times we've seen a couple Cropdusters, both with Hogan as well as Copeland, We saw a fastball up high trying to change the eye level, then an off speed, and I think Copeland was waiting for that one. A really good way to adjust that ball and drive it back up the middle.
Overall, Riley Lang's done a good job of varying speeds, varying locations, varying arm angles, but Hogan and Copeland have just been able to read that efficiently and get on base.
Top of the order here for Jack Tilton as he'll sky that one out of play.
Please return all foul balls to the first or third base.
Tilton, the designated hitter today, switching out with Dakota Hogan. Tilton's mainly been the shortstop. He's been in the one spot just about this entire year for the Cropdusters. Coach Jared Jones has really liked him out of the leadoff spot. Copeland is off from first. Strong throw into second is not in time. Caleb Copeland gets his first stolen base of the season. And Lang, I guess, maybe not quite looking too much at Copeland as he had a great jump off at first.
That was a great pop time, though, by Jackson Van Pelt. He threw an absolute C down to second and made it a very close play.
That was P.J. Laux trying to put on the tag, but maybe overrunning the ball a little bit. He didn't quite let it travel to try to get Copeland on the tag. So runner in scoring position now here for the Cropdusters. A much-needed run here in the third as they're down 3-0. Kind of an uncharacteristic day for Thatcher Poteet, who has struggled. Kind of been pieced up this Rail Riders offense. Now it's time for the arguably weakest offense here in the Corn Belt League to maybe step it up here and find themselves a win.
This is a big-time situation for the Cropdusters. They got to be able to capitalize right here.
3-1 pitch is upstairs. 4-4. Disciplined plate appearance right there for Jack Tilton. He draws the walk.
Cropdusters have got to start being able to work off of Riley Lang's discomfort out on the mound. They got to be able to work counts, get him to lose command of his breaking ball, his off speed, his fastball, get him uncomfortable out on the mound. And the Cropdusters so far, they have one out. They've got runners on first and second. So we'll see if they've got their 2 to 3 best hitters out there coming up to the plate. So we'll see if they can get something going here.
Looks like Coach Shelton will go out to the mound, talk with his guy in Riley Lang. Trying to see maybe what might be the issue here. 2 runners on here with 1 gone for the Cropdusters. This is Cade Owens. Owens flied out to left back in the first. Is in a spot here to maybe find a way for the Cropdusters to try to creep back in this ball game. Owens again leads this team with 8 RBI. First pitch shows bunt. Pulls it back because he thought it was going out of the zone, but the off speed is able to nick the outer half for strike 1.
Cropdusters are utilizing a little bit of a small ball approach here. They're just trying to do whatever they can to advance those runners.
0-1 pitch is upstairs. I mean, that is a thinking too, but I think with Owens here with still just 1 gone and no runner at third, not looking at a squeeze play, might have been just trying to see if the defense would bite coming in. Lang looks back at second. It's been a 1-look 2 times. That one comes upstairs. He falls behind now 2-1.
This has got to be your best pitch right here if you're Lang. You don't want to fall behind 3-1 because then you're really forced to hammer to the zone, which is where the Cropdusters can do damage. So you want your best pitch to be right here and even the count at 2-2.
Lang 2 looks back to second. Big swing and a miss right there from Cade Owens. He wanted that one, but just got behind it. And the count back up at 2-2. Big pitch coming here from Riley Lang. A strong day so far, but the Cropdusters trying to maybe put some damage here. 51st pitch of the day for Lang. Runner is off. This one popped way foul and behind us and out of play. Both runners were off as Copeland had a little bit of a 2-hop trying to get towards third. Dead sprinted after that. We'll have to retrieve back to second. Another 2-2 pitch coming here. Lang just a 1-look back to second. Swing and a miss right there from Cade Owens. A big strikeout right there for Riley Lang. It's the second of the day. And now 2 gone
The catcher from the College of St. Scholastica, number 5, Nathan.
Riley Lang blew a fastball low, and that forces Cade Owens to try to get his bat plane through the zone at a very awkward angle. And you can see there he almost crossed his feet to try to get his bat plane through the zone quickly. So good job by Riley Lang on blowing that fastball low, and Cade Owens was not expecting it at all.
Lang with an inside move there. Trying to look back at Copeland at second. Copeland started off the inning with a single after the Caleb Horner flyout to center. He stole a base, and then right after that, Jack Tilton walked on 5 pitches. And Riley Lang, right after the strikeout of Cade Owens, is trying to figure his way out of this inning. Back-to-back innings where he's had some scoundrels on the base paths from the Cropdusters and been able to try to get out of it.
You can definitely tell Riley Lang starting to look a little bit more comfortable out on the mound. Early he looked like he was having a hard time managing the base runners, but now he looks like he's in his zone, he's in his forte, and he's just attacking the zone.
1-1 pitch coming here from Lang. This one driven into center. Braden Archer will take about 5 steps in, make the play. And once again, Riley Lang figures his way out of the inning and keeps the Cropdusters at 0. We head to the 4th. Rail Riders lead this one by 4. Big Hit Witt will start this one off here in the 4th. The Rail Riders trying to continue a theme so far. They've scored in every single inning in the first 3 innings of this one up against Thatcher Poteet. Rogers singled and started a rally back in the 2nd as he looks at a first pitch fastball.
Thatcher Poteet had 44 pitches through 2 full innings. The pitch count isn't bad, so you're looking for him, though, to be efficient this inning.
Efficient he is right there. Got Rogers to chase a little bit on the off speed. And working quickly back up there on the mound, up 0-2. Oh-2 pitch. Tried to get him to chase again. He couldn't, as that one was in the dirt.
It was a good waste pitch right there by Thatcher Poteet. You don't 0-2. You don't have to throw your best pitch on 0-2, so you make it a 1-2 count. Now this is where you want to start attacking the zone, getting Witt to maybe swing at something into the dirt.
Rogers looks at another one in the dirt, and the count back up at 2 apiece. Rogers this season hasn't had a big problem with strikeouts. Does have 9 strikeouts compared to 6 walks, but for a power guy like he is, it's pretty considerable numbers. As he'll call time here. Definitely see a lot of different guys with 10, 11, 12 strikeouts throughout the season for a lot of guys that are struggling. But for A guy like Witt, who's a big swing or miss guy, it's definitely better numbers than some other power hitters can have.
Yeah, for a big swing and miss guy, he's doing a really good job with his plate discipline in this at bat. He goes from 0-2 to 3-2, and he could potentially draw a walk here.
And he does. Big hit Witt chucks the bat and heads on to first. A little shout out to his dugout right there with this 6-pitch walk. And a runner on first here with nobody gone. And that is the 4th consecutive inning here. Every single inning in this one, the Rail Riders have had the leadoff runner on.
That's just what you need for the Rail Riders. They're catching Thatcher Petit early, but they haven't been able to capitalize towards the middle half of the inning. So we'll see if they can get something going with no outs, 1 out, so they can keep an inning going for a long period of time.
Big swing and a miss right there from P.J. Laux. Laux, another pretty solid hitter who was one of our hitter of the week candidates earlier in this year. Hitting .303 coming into this, but the biggest struggle for him has been the strikeouts with 11 coming into this one. He singled down the left field line back in the second and falls himself now behind here 0-2.
The Rail Riders have a very, very scary 1-7 to start off their lineup. I mean, you got to contend with guys that are quick, can hit for power. So if you can get through the first 7, if you're Thatcher Petit, that'll be ideal, because the last 3 or 4, they're good hitters, but you don't have to worry as much.
0-2 pitches upstairs. I think I'm not quite sure how to think about it, but it's the fact that we've seen so many times in 0-2. I mean, it's been the same formula. There's been no switches so far. And if you're Petit right now, or really more or less, if you're Laux right now, I think you have to be guessing that you're going to get an off-speed coming here, because that's been the same recipe every single time. It's been fastball upstairs and some kind of off-speed down low. Petit checks back on Rogers. And there you go. Changed up the look on the outside. Did work a fastball there rather than the off-speed, but way outside for a ball.
Yeah, Thatcher Petit is not doing a good job of varying his locations. Like you said,
I don't think it's just Petit, though. I mean, it's not just Petit. It's a lot of different college pitchers that you see the same kind of looks a lot of different times. And there's the off-speed right there on the 2-2. Got Laux to chase. And a strikeout right there, much needed for Thatcher Petit, maybe trying to calm down these Rail Riders who've been able to put something on the scoreboard all 3 innings so far this one, trying to do it again here in the 4th. Whit Rogers is on to first after the walk. This is Jackson Van Pelt. He walked his first at-bat of the day in the 2nd.
Yeah, the key to success as a pitcher is being able to vary your locations. Yes, you can work the off-speed, work the breaking ball, but varying your locations and working the hitter's eye levels and inside to out, up and down, that's the key. That's really the key.
Petit falling behind here 2-0. I think that's a big thing that I just haven't seen as much with some high school and college guys. It's attacking the inside. If you want to be a really good college athlete, college pitcher, being able to establish the inside zone is very important. If you're able to do that and find it well, sometimes you can even get a lot of hitters off guard, right? Because you're thinking a lot of times to lefties or right, if you work inside, okay, you're going to the barrel a lot of times, right? You're going to a guy that likes to find the inner half a lot of the time. Well, sometimes if you're looking to count to where you're most likely to go outside, you can change some things up and can get a lot of different hitters guessing.
Yeah, we'll see. Thatcher Petit, we were just talking about command. This time he started behind 3-0, and now he's trying to work back. So we'll see if, like you said, he can utilize that inner half of the plate.
All right, off-speed. Whit Rogers is stealing second. Thatcher Petit wasn't even thinking about him. And Whit Rogers, goodness gracious, a man of the people, his first stolen base of the year, and is hyping up his dugout after that one.
The man can do it all. He looks like he's limping out there on second base, but, man, he got a great jump and big hit. Whit showed off the speed.
Jackson Van Pelt, after looking at strike 2, fouls that one back off. We'll see the full count pitch once again. Man, it is always an entertaining one with Whit Rogers.
You never know.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen in a game like this. You can break a bat, Do anything you want, dance moves, whatever you want. As Jackson Van Pelt able to work another full count walk, back-to-back full count walks for Jackson Van Pelt.
Now batting.
And he doesn't even have an at-bat here today. 2 plate appearances, 2 walks, and now 2 runners on here with 1 out. Another threat here for the Rail Riders.
If you're the Cropdusters, when do you start to maybe pull the string on Thatcher Poteet? They don't have anybody up in the bullpen, which is interesting to me because Thatcher Poteet's been struggling with his command and allowing quite a bit of base runners, so it's interesting to see where they draw the line on Thatcher Poteet.
Big swing and a miss right there from Cedric Dunwald. Dunwald grounded into a double play, a 6-4-3 double play in the second. It brought home a run, so an RBI for him. However, it kind of put away maybe a possible bigger opportunity for the Rail Riders. They had bases loaded and nobody out in that one. You have a little more comfortability for Poteet, who ended up getting out of it, just 1 run gone. This pitch gets away from Wickham, goes to the backstop. Both runners are going to move up 90 feet. The double play is now out of order. And again, those small things the Poteet has just not been able to do today have now allowed the Rail Riders to just continue to find ways to pour on.
He just hasn't been able to get comfortable out of the mound, and the Rail Riders have really exploited that. They've been able to kind of spray the ball around the field. They've been able to also make the defense uncomfortable because it's hard to predict where a hitter is going to hit when your pitcher is not being consistent out on the mound.
1-1 pitch, trying to get Dunwald to chase on the fastball upstairs. He does not. The infield is now in, only slightly in. The shortstop in Dakota Hogan is on the lip. However, the other 3 infielders are playing mirror towards the lines. 2-1 pitch, another swing and a miss right there from Cedric Dunwald. He doesn't count back up at 2s.
I might add that the center fielder, Caleb Copeland, and the right fielder, that is a huge gap. I mean, if you put one in the gap, that is almost guaranteed extra bases. I mean, that is a very, very large gap right there between the right fielder and the center fielder.
2-2 pitch way outside. I think Caleb Copeland might have hurt you a little bit after being, it's about 15 to 20 feet towards left field. Worked himself back straight center. However, Caleb Horner out there in right is playing way more towards the line. Payoff pitch coming here. Got him chasing. Cedric Dunwald unhappy with that one. He swung away on a pitch that was way outside the zone, but a strikeout for Thatcher Poteet and his second out here of the inning.
That is a key strikeout for Thatcher Poteet. That gives you 2 outs with runners on second and third. You don't have a force out at second or third, but that is still a very key out for Thatcher Poteet.
It's the 5th strikeout of the day as he comes back firing with a fastball to Nolan Chandler.
5 strikeouts through 3 2/3 isn't bad, but he's just been the counts that he gets strikeouts in 5, 6, 7 pitches.
Chandler lines this one foul off the fencing. That's a good point. 68 pitches now, or apologies, change that back up. 70 pitches now for Thatcher Poteet. He's trying to get through here in the 4th. 0-2 pitch to Chandler. Got him swinging. Another strikeout for Thatcher Poteet. And the 2-out scoring threat from Whit Rogers and these Rail Riders comes to pass. They still lead this one 4-0 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Bottom of the fourth here. The Cropdusters trailing this one 4-0. For the first time of the day, Thatcher Poteet this past inning was able to get out of the inning without a run allowed. The Rail Riders scored 1 on the first after a Braden Archer single came around after a pass ball, a stolen base, and a wild pitch. The second inning, 2 singles by Whit Roger and P.J. Laux ended up bringing 1 run in after an RBI double play from Cedric Dunwald. In the third, 2 runs came across after 2 doubles and 2 sac flies. But Poteet was able to get out of it in the fourth. This one, hard chopper over to short, strong throw from P.J. Laux. It's in time to Whit Rogers. He's able to get Anthony Comfort for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, that was an interesting play right there by P.J. Laux. So I thought he was going to attack that and try to get it on the line out, but instead he decided to play it as a ground ball to show off that arm maybe, and he did. I mean, that was an absolute cannon to first, which beat kind of a speedy, underrated speed man and Anthony Comfort.
Yeah, Lang's been working pretty well here today. He had a couple pieces given up in the second and third, but nothing too much that he wasn't able to get out of. He's been pretty efficient here today, 56 pitches through 4 innings. And just looking at the heart of the order for the second time here today against the Cropdusters. 1-0 pitch is outside of Dakota Hogan.
One thing that separates Lang from Thatcher Poteet this game has been Lang's ability to locate when he needs to. He's been able to limit the high counts, and he's been able to really just work efficiently.
He's been really able to minimize and get that right there. A lot of weak contact here today. But Whit Rogers couldn't find it over there at first. His dugout giving him a hard time for that one. Rogers had both of his hands up in the air, the sun blaring right down at him, going from about a little bit more towards the press box here, over the press box, right down in the eyes of Whit Rogers. You see the sunglasses on, but apparently they're not needed. You couldn't see them anyway.
Maybe needs to get a little stronger tint on those sunglasses, but that right side of the field is being blinded.
It is being blinded. It's very, very hard, especially come like sundown when you get out there at first and right, and 7, 8 o'clock here. That's brutal. It is brutal coming straight at you. Lang now behind here 3-1, and he walks Dakota Hogan on 5 pitches. And Lang a little bit unhappy with that one. Slammed the ball down and ended up throwing it behind him a little bit with his glove. He'll go back to retrieve it, but maybe something here. The third time we've said it. The third straight inning to where right after the first out of the inning comes through at the top of the lineup for that inning, the next guy gets on. We'll see if that theme can continue throughout the rest of this one. Childress 0 for 1 on the day. He skies this one out to left. Derek Enertson able to make the catch. Dakota Hogan's going to have to retrieve back. He slides in safely as a strong throw from Enertson, It was not in time.
There's a little bit of a scare.
That was the second time today we've seen Hogan kind of get off a little bit too far in between first and second base. This one driven in his center. That one's going to get down in front of Braden Archer. A scorcher in front of him. And station to station go the Cropdusters here. 2 runners on here with 2 outs.
Logan Davis took that first pitch, did not want to face Lang deep into account, did not want to have to face his stuff, so he just improvised and said, all right, I'm going to take this first pitch, took it straight to center field, and now the Cropdusters mean business with runners on first and second.
Yeah, sometimes that can be the thought process going through the second time through the order. Do you kind of switch up and work backwards to these hitters? Lang went straight away with the fastball and was driven straight back up the middle. Another 2-out scoring threat here for the Cropdusters. Big thing for them, they have not been able to come through so far. This is Braxton Wilhelm, our impact player here today. He struck out after chasing it 2 different pitches outside the zone up against Riley Lang to end off the second. Lang, 2 looks back to Hogan. And gets Wilhelm to chase again. He's shaking himself. Upset. He's really struggled here today as he's not quite found himself too comfortable in that batter's box up against Lang.
Lang with the 1-1. That one just nicks the bottom of the zone. 4 strike 2. Wilhelm didn't like it, but now finds himself down once again. Lang for the 3rd consecutive inning trying to get out of it with no runs allowed from the Cropdusters. Big 1-2 pitch coming here from Wilhelm. He fouls that one straight back.
Wilhelm's been looking really uncomfortable in the batter's box. He's just got to come into his own, take a deep breath, work with what Lang's giving him, and see. Granted, he has a 1-2 count, but maybe you can still work a couple pitches, foul off a couple, battle, maybe work a 2-2, 3-2 count, and win the at-bat and draw a walk.
Even on that one, I think Wilhelm thought he missed that ball coming straight at him. 1-2 once again. Kind of half swing right there. Little flare over to second. Nolan Chandler able to make the play. And Riley Lang, the story for him today, getting out of situations. 3 straight innings where he strands 2 runners. And we'll head to the 5th. The Rail Riders with a comfortable 4-0 lead. 10-1-2 here for the Rail Riders in the top of the 5th. They lead this one 4-0. Thatcher Poteet back on the mound once again, able to finally get out of an inning without giving up a run. He faces Garrett Globe. Globe lifts this one into no man's land, but able to make a catch there was Dakota Hogan into shallow left field for the first out of the inning. 1 pitch, 1 out for Thatcher Poteet, and a lot more efficient than we've seen these last couple innings.
Thatcher Poteet needs these next 2 batters, that he needs to try to have these counts and these pitch counts be 4 pitches or less. I know that's kind of a tough pill to swallow, but you got to be able to just work a small pitch count here. The Cropdusters look like they're going to be utilizing him for 5, 6, maybe the whole game here, so quick pitches this inning.
There was a lefty up in the bullpen for the Cropdusters a little bit ago. Once we get that one to you, we'll give it to you. We believe it's either Trenton Colesville or Cade Owens. Those are possibly the next options for the Cropdusters. 1-0 pitch is outside to Braden Archer.
Braden Archer's got speed, so if you're Thatcher Poteet, just keep anything out of the zone, because Braden Archer can also hit very well, so just keep anything out of the zone that he can turn on.
Archer 2 for 2 on the day, as that one nicks the inside for strike 1. Had a single, and then reached second on a pass ball, stole third, came home on a wild pitch back in the first, with the first run of the day for the Rail Riders. Then back in the third, after Garrett Globe doubled down the left field line, Archer said, I can pull 1-2, put his down the right field line, ended up scoring 2 batters later in a sac fly. He grounds this one and just foul over to Logan Davis at third.
That almost treaded a very fine line between going into a fair ball. That was a very close play. But Braden Archer wasn't running down the line, so if that would have been a fair ball, he would have been out. But that treaded a very fine line.
Yeah, the grass there, especially down the first and third base lines, can be kind of odd ones, as that one goes off a little bit of the leg, inside leg of Nathan Wickham. He's reeling a little bit coming from that one. But again, Poteet, when he's missed, he is really missed so far here today. 4 walks today from him have kind of
been somewhat abnormal. 11 walks coming into this one. Full count pitch. That one's fouled and out of play. And another piece of life here for Braden Archer.
After having one pitch and one out from Thatcher Poteet in the first batter, Braden Archer is working the count here and making this a dreadfully long at-bat for Thatcher Poteet.
They've worked the pitch count high so far up against Poteet. 3-2 once again. Got him guessing. Another strikeout for Thatcher Poteet as the ball going around the horn heads out to left. However, 8th strikeout of the day for Thatcher Poteet. He has just been magnificent, at least been able to get a lot of guys guessing, but he still finds himself down 4-0.
Take away the scoreboard and the score, and Thatcher Poteet's dealing out there, but you look at the score and you think, if he's got 8 strikeouts, he's dealing.
This one driven down the left field line. It's going to get over the head of Cade Owens. Gabriel Baker's going to have extra bases. He's heading to second, and he'll stay there. A stand-up double for Gabriel Baker, our impact player for these Rail Riders. Has been pretty efficient. Now 1 for 2 on the day with a double and a sac fly.
Yeah, he took the first couple pitches of the at-bat. Did not want to face Thatcher Poteet's stuff. I mean, you just got to be efficient early. He took that right over the head of the left fielder, pulled the ball nice, got the bat through the zone perfectly, and just sat out in front of that one, and now he's standing on second with a double.
So another runner here in scoring position. It's the 5th consecutive inning that Thatcher Poteet has had to work with runners on the base paths. Still 2 gone here as that one's way out of the zone. Diving attempt by Nathan Wickham to keep it in front of him.
Got to give a shout out to Nathan Wickham back there behind the plate. He has been working today. He has been able to kind of control Thatcher Poteet's inconsistency and his command problems, and he is doing a great job behind the plate.
He's had to work around a lot. As this one, little check swing in front of Poteet, throwing to first. High throw, but Anthony Comfort's able to reach out and grab that one. So back-to-back innings, Poteet's able to leave the Rail Riders scoreless, but we'll see if the Cropdusters offense can find a way to help them out. They are down here in this one 4-0 as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Back here in the bottom of the 5th, the Rail Riders lead this one 4-0 as they hoping to continue to slow down and really just stop this Cropdusters offense, who have had just about nothing so far today up against Riley Lang. They've had some opportunities, but every single time they've got some runner in scoring position, Lang has been able to shut him down as he's been leaving loads of different base runners loose. Cropdusters now see if they can try to find some way to tack on the first run of their day. First pitch from Lang. Off-speed is in there for a strike. This is the 9-hole hitter, Caleb Horner. Horner 0 for 1 on the day with the fly out back in the 3rd to center. Nobody in either bullpen so far for the Rail Riders or Cropdusters. We saw a lefty up in the bullpen about an inning ago for the Cropdusters in case. He has since been sat down. Austin Shelton at least was sitting out in the bullpen for the Rail Riders, but I think with how well Riley Lang has pitched so far, they got to be pretty comfortable with his start to the day. 2-1 pitch from him. This one driven into the left center gap. That one's going to get down. Derek Earnson will be able to grab it, but Caleb Horner with a leadoff single, and again,
We now see some kind of piece here for the Cropdusters. It's whether or not they can come through and find a run.
Yeah, Riley Lang, I mean, it seems like every inning the Cropdusters get their first 2 batters on base, but then Riley Lang battles back and gets the next 3 or 2, whatever. And it's been 3 straight innings. Let's see if he can make it 4 of working out of a jam.
73 pitches coming into this inning, excuse me, for Riley Lang. 44 strikes. There's 4 hits allowed, is not allowed to run. 3 walks compared to 2 strikeouts, but big thing from him, the defense has been able to help him out. There's not been an error either side defensively. One-0 pitch is in the dirt once again as Lang now, back-to-back batters, has found himself behind and is missing the zone pretty wildly.
Those were 2 back-to-back really great blocks by Jackson Van Pelt. Good job of getting his body in front of it and stopping the ball from going to the backstop.
Caleb Copeland 1 for 1 on the day with a single back in the third. He looks at 3 straight balls as Lang now is missing very consistently. 3 straight balls coming here from Copeland, and now we see Shelton working back out in the bullpen. Hasn't started throwing yet, but he's running back out there in case he is needed. 3-0 pitch is in there for a strike right down the pipe. But still no green light right there from Caleb Copeland.
The difference between this last inning and this inning, Riley Lang looks a lot more uncomfy out there on the mound. You almost have to wonder if his arm is starting to get tired, and that's attributing to the problems he's having so far.
3-1 pitch is low for ball 4. And 2 runners on here now with nobody out. I'll bring up the top of the order here in Jack Tilton.
We've seen Riley Lang work out of these problems before. I'm not going to count out Riley Lang because I know he can do it. So it'll be interesting to see if the Cropdusters can actually capitalize on the runners on base. This would be a key inning, bottom of the 5th inning. You're starting to run out of time, so this would be the inning to do it.
Austin Shelton again is in the bullpen. He's not started throwing quite yet, so I think he might have to figure a way to try to get out of the rest of this inning and allow the bullpen to help him out the rest of the way. 2 runners on here is the top of the order in Jack Tilton. Tilton 0 for 1 on the day, grounded out the third baseman back in the first, walked in the third. 1-0 pitch is inside, trying to get Tilton to chase on the inner half.
I can't tell if he was trying to get out of the way or he was trying to swing. That was quite the interesting ordeal there.
Two-0 pitch is in there for a strike to Tilton.
Riley Lang's just got to give his best stuff here. Ground ball would be ideal. Double play, work a double play, give you 2 outs.
82nd pitch of the day coming here from Lang, and it's upstairs for a ball. And Lang is really struggling to find command here in the 5th. Is 1 pitch away from loading the bases. 3-1 pitch, big hack right there from Jack Tilton. He wanted all of that one. Couldn't get to it. It was the count full. Big pitch coming here. Still up by 4, but a reasonable distance for the Cropdusters. They're in a prime opportunity to answer back. This one flared to short. P.J. Laux able to make the play. And the jam shot from Jack Tilton as the first out of the inning, and a much-needed one there from Riley Lang. And now with the double play in order, an opportunity for the Rail Riders to get out of this one.
Jaden, wouldn't that be something if Riley Lang can work out of this inning for the 4th straight inning where he's had runners on and he can work out of it with no damage? I mean, that would be amazing. I mean, the ability to work yourself out of a jam as a pitcher and still maintain your command, it's phenomenal.
Cade Owens looks at a off speed that got away a little bit from Lang upstairs. This is the 4th straight inning that we've seen Lang work with a runner in scoring position. The last 3 of them, he's been able to get out of it. He's been living somewhat dangerously, but able to keep the Cropdusters at a goose egg so far. 1-0 pitch outside the fastball. Lang didn't like it, but it was definitely off. It was honestly probably more in the other batter's box, but still a strong pitch either way. 2-0 pitch coming here. This one popped in play. Van Pelton and Urbon come on. Van Pelton grabs it, and a big second out. I mean, you talk about times where the Cropdusters have just not been able to win games, and it's because the offense just has not been able to come through in big moments. They've been gifted 2 runners on with nobody out, and now 2 gone here after 2 weak pop-ups, and Lang just out away from getting out of it.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I can tell his fastball's dropping off in velocity. That arm has got to be getting tired, but he just keeps going out there and giving his best stuff.
First pitch is swung on and missed from Nathan Wickham. Again, Austin Shelton is working up in the bullpen currently. Coach Francisco, for now, is keeping Lang for the rest of this inning. 88th pitch coming here from Lang. That one just inside, and the count back up 1 apiece. Wickham today 0 for 2 has given Braden Artzer some things to worry about, as he had to make a couple long runs and make 2 different plays in the first and third up against Wickham.
That was a good pitch right there to vary the eye levels. You almost have to wonder if maybe this pitch he's going to drop off a fastball low, which he's done before to make these hitters uncomfortable, or use that off speed to try to maybe work it inside, make these hitters also very uncomfortable.
2-1 pitch. This one driven into center field. Arts is going to have to come on. It's going to drop in front of him. The throw's coming into home. It's on line. It is not in time. The first run of the day for the Cropdusters is an RBI single from Nathan Wickham, as Caleb Horner comes around from second to score. And we might have thought we would see Riley Lang come to the 4th inning with runners in scoring position to come out of it with nothing given up. The first run coming in here for the Cropdusters, and a chance to add on here for Anthony Comfort.
Nathan Wickham's been putting in the work behind the plate, catching, and he just put in work at the plate right there, hitting. That was a good job of poking that one to center field, scoring a run, and now the Cropdusters finally got that run. Let's see if maybe that can be a breaking point for them.
Trayton Kozel is now running for Nathan Wickham, the courtesy runner over there at first. We thought he might have been a possible guy in the bullpen for Thatcher Poteet, but seems like they're going to be the next guy going up. You see Austin Shelton there on your screen. See how much more of a leash they're going to give to Riley Lang.
Anthony Comfort is a very dangerous hitter. He hit a home run a couple nights ago, so this is not a guy that you want to mess with at the plate. You want to still work around the zone, because Anthony Comfort's been known in high school and in college and in the Corn Belt to take some balls yard.
Another Bennington grad like you, Ethan. Hopefully a familiar face is Anthony Comfort, as he's now ahead here 2-1. The Rail Riders dugout getting loud after a couple borderline calls not going their way. Comfort this season does have 4 RBI, looking for his 5th. 2-1 pitch is upstairs, 4-3. The Rail Riders dugout's getting a little more rowdy over there in the first base dugout.
They are not liking the umpire, some of his calls here. It almost looks like his zone is shrinking slightly.
A lot of close calls. Comfort's going to ground this one over to third. A.J. Urbaum, strong throw onto first. Beautiful pick by Whit Rogers. And the defense shows off to get Riley Lang out of the inning. The Cropdusters do add their first this ball game, but we're through 5. And the Rail Riders still able to hold on to their 4-1 lead. New pitcher here for the Cropdusters. It's Trayton Colesel as Thatcher Poteet's day is done. Poteet worked 5 innings of work, 6 hits, 4 runs, all 4 of them earned, 3 walks, but 8 strikeouts, 3 wild pitches. But although the 8 strikeouts, Poteet struggled to be able to find the zone in big moments and gave up some big hits. Was kept the Cropdusters at least in it. It's a 4-1 game. Colesel this season just has 1 appearance so far. It's just about a month ago. Last time he pitched was June 9th up against the Haymakers. Had 1 inning of work, allowed 2 earned runs, had a walk, a strikeout, and hit by a pitch. So Cropdusters kind of going into the depths of their bullpen to see who they can rely on here later in this second half of the season. There's a righty up in the bullpen now as the designated hitter, Jack Tilton, is up in the bullpen for the Cropdusters. Austin Shelton is done warming up for the Rail Riders. It might be the day for Riley Lang after being able to get out of this past inning with just 1 run allowed. That's kind of been the kind of theme today for Riley Lang. Has gotten himself into some thick positions, but has gotten himself out of it for the majority of the time. First pitch coming in here from Colesel is a ball. This is number 38, A.J. Urbaum. Urbaum struggled today against Poteet, 2 of Poteet's 8 strikeouts.
We'll see if the Rail Riders are going to be able to use Colesel's inexperience out on the mound. It's like you said, he's only thrown an inning and has 2 earned runs. We'll see if they can use that to their advantage.
1-1 pitch is driven into the 5-6 hole. That one's going to get in the outfield. And the first hit of the day for A.J. Urbaum. And once again, it just seems like every single inning, the Rail Riders find a way to get their leadoff man on.
And that's the key for them because they can run well. I mean, even Whit Rogers can run well, so it does not matter who your leadoff guy is. You know that they can run well, they can hit well, so you do not want them to get things going and carry momentum.
I'll bring up big hit Whit. You mentioned the stolen base, the speed that he has. He got Thatcher Poteet sleeping on him a little bit after the walk in the 4th. He was ended up able to steal second. Didn't go anywhere past that as Thatcher Poteet was able to get out of it with 3 strikeouts and 2 walks. So it was kind of all or nothing for Poteet today. Either way missed, way outside, or was able to fool a bunch of the Rail Riders hitters.
If you take away the scoreboard, Thatcher Poteet threw an absolute gem today. So you got to tip your cap to Thatcher Poteet.
Yeah, definitely kept the Cropdusters in this one. It's just a matter of how the Cropdusters can find some kind of consistency on offense. That's not been the thing for them this season. Had 4 consecutive innings to where they have runners in scoring position, left them all stranded. Colesel down 3-0 to Whit Rogers. It's a 4-pitch walk as he chucks the bat towards the first base dugout. And back-to-back walks for Whit Rogers. He's 1 for 1 on the day with 2 walks and a single.
This is the last thing you want if you're the Cropdusters is the Rail Riders tacking on some more insurance runs. You do not want this game to get out of hand. You've started to kind of dig yourself out of that hole, but you don't want that hole to get even deeper.
Even with that, you're most likely going to get a look at a different arm than what you've seen in Riley Lang. So definitely a different change for the 3rd time through the order for the Cropdusters. Most likely to be Austin Shelton as he was ready to go, but we'll see if Coach Francisco wants to put out Lang again or we'll go to his bullpen. This is P.J. Laux. He's 1 for 2 on the day with a single down the left field line in the 2nd, then struck out in the 4th. Colesel hits him. There you go. Bases loaded here as P.J. Laux will head to first after getting it the hard way. And bases loaded here with nobody out. And this has been one of the question marks outside of just the offense coming up in big moments. The bullpen has been an issue for the Cropdusters this season. Bases juiced as Colesel is trying to work some way out of it. This is Jackson Van Pelt with the bases juice. He's 0 for 0 on the day, does not have an at-bat.
walked twice back in the second and fourth. Oh, 1 pitch. This one grounded up the middle. Dakota Hogan misread it off the hop, and it gets into center field. 2 runners are all jacked up in between second and third. Whit Rogers coming home, and he's going to be safe. What in the world just happened? A defensive meltdown. Dakota Hogan came up on that ball, thought it was a lot slower coming up in the middle. Might have been shielded by the runner out there in second, and Whit Rogers, as well as the umpire. He came up too much on it. He had to retrieve back. It went past his arm. Caleb Copeland slowly got the ball in, and they had Whit Rogers as well as P.J. Lauk stuck at third base, and somehow Whit Rogers, who I guess maybe is the speed demon on this team, finds his way home. Throw is towards second, and another run comes in. And the defensive sloppiness here for the Cropdusters has allowed the Rail Riders to blow this one open. I mean, that's a situation right there. That's stuff you got to know, and it's got to know that got things you should know since 14U ball, a first and third situation, and no communication up the middle. An easy stolen base for Van Pelt, and P.J. Laux comes home barely even walking. You don't even get out, and you give up another run, as this one is popped foul out of play.
The Rail Riders were able to turn a base running mishap into basically 2 runs.
I mean, 2 of them. 2 of them.
Yeah.
2 of them right there.
And that right there is just the story of the day for this game, really. Like mishaps and poor management turning into advantages.
Another pitch is outside for a ball. Cedric Dunwall now finds himself ahead 2-1. Gonna start it off with a single from A.J. Urbaum, a walk from Whit Rogers, and a hit by a pitch of P.J. Laux. The bases loaded for Trenton Kozel, trying to work himself out of it, but Jackson Van Pelt, they will officially call that one a single. Dakota Hogan came on thinking that it was a little chopper in front of him and might have been shielded a little bit by the umpire. Couldn't quite see it, ended up getting past his glove into center field. A whole bunch of random throws after that. Copeland threw it to Hogan, then threw it over to Childress, who threw it home, and somehow Whit Rogers, even though it was dead to rights coming home, ended up scoring. And this inning continues. Now runners on first and second after the walk for Cedric Dunwald. And Jared Jones going to come out. That very likely might be enough that he's seen from Kozel.
I just thought it was an interesting move in the first place to put Kozel out there. I mean, he's thrown 1 inning this year.
And it's been in over a month.
Yeah, so, I mean, he's got the inexperience on the mound, and his arm, you almost got to think, isn't quite ready to go. It was just not a good inning, so it hasn't been a good inning so far for the Cropdusters, excuse me. And these Rail Riders are just putting on the insurance runs.
New pitcher in here for the Cropdusters. Take a quick break here on the Corn Belt League Network. The Rail Riders have blown this one open 7-1.
Jack Tilton is the new pitcher in here for the Cropdusters. Runners on first and second with still nobody gone. It's the end of the day for Trayton Colesville. Did not even getting out. 2 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned. Throw on to third out of the first pitch. They got the runner at third. That's Jackson Van Pelt after he was able to reach on a single up the middle, and he's getting up gingerly.
Yeah, that looked like a very uncomfortable slide. It's really dangerous sliding on your stomach sometimes like that because the base could nick your fingers. You could land on your stomach wrong. So sliding like that's can always pose to be a very uncomfortable situation for just sliding into any base.
So a little bit slow on that one. A throw out right there from Nathan Wickham, and that's the first out of the inning here for Tilton. And Colesville really struggled. Was not even able to get out. 2 walks, a hit by pitch, 2 earned runs, but 3 overall runs already tacked on here in the 6th. And after we thought the Cropdusters might be able to figure a way to keep themselves into this ball game, the Rail Riders have just blown this one back wide open with a 6-run lead. Still a runner here at second. That's Cedric Dunwald here for Nolan Chandler. One, 2 is in there for strike 3. Nolan Chandler didn't think it was. That's a strikeout right there for Jack Tilton. And a much needed second out here for the Cropdusters. And again, back-to-back guys we've seen here for the limited Cropdusters bullpen that have not had a ton of experience. It has been a singular month on the dot since Jack Tilton last pitched up against the Royal Blue Dogs on June 12th. Had 1 inning of work, allowed a hit, a walk, and a strikeout, did not allow any runs. But again, the taxed arms and the taxed bullpens of a lot of different teams here in the Corn Belt League have become an issue for teams trying to win out of the cellar.
I mean, looking at our lineup cards here, Jack Tilton isn't even listed as a pitcher, but he's only thrown 1 inning this year, has 1 walk, 1 strikeout, but he looks very comfortable out there. He looks like he's hitting his locations well. He's got good velocity. That breaking ball was nice, right there. So he looks very comfortable out there. So this might have been a good move for the Cropdusters.
Definitely just trying to keep this one where it's at. It's a 6-run lead for the Rail Riders. Garrett Globe here up 2-1 and looks at a fastball upstairs.
His breaking ball is really filthy. He showcased it right there on that 0-2 pitch. He got the strikeout with it on the last at bat. So you got to think that this at bat right here, he is going to be utilizing it.
3-1 pitch is upstairs for ball 4, and again the pitching has been struggling. That's the 6th walk of the day between the Cropdusters pitching staff. Again, the tax bullpens have becoming an issue as the Rail Riders still looking to add on more here as it's about a 20-minute top of the 6th.
Yeah, this has been a very long inning for the Cropdusters. Jack Tilton came in, got 2 quick outs, and now let's hope that he can get another quick out here.
As Braden Artzer back at the top of the order. Artzer 2 for 3 on the day, struck out back in the 5th, but had a single and a double in the 1st and 3rd, came around to score both times. 1-0 to him is way inside, almost nicks him. And Tilton now down 2-0. Austin Shelton is back working in the bullpen as it looks like it is the day for Riley Lang. Shelton, after, again, a really long inning, is just trying to get himself back and ready for the next inning.
That was, really good day right here by Riley Lang. You got to be pretty happy if you're the Rail Riders with Riley Lang's outing on the mound today. So let's hope Austin Shelton can come in, get the job done, and give the Rail Riders the win.
2-1 pitch here from Tilton. That one nicks the outer half for strike 2. Braxton Wilhelm has now gone out in the bullpen for the Cropdusters in case they'll need him in the 7th. See how long they're going to give Tilton here. Trying to get out of the inning here. 2-2 pitch, off speed in the dirt. It was count full.
Tilton's got good off speed and breaking pitches. They've got nice movement, good off speed. He's been able to kind of work that velocity, with that off speed, and his breaking ball has really good break, but he just hasn't been able to locate.
Full count pitch, runners are off. That one nicks the outer half. Archer didn't like it. Maybe a game pitch right there, but Tilton gets out of it with a strikeout. We'll head to the bottom of the sixth. The Cropdusters are in a hole. We'll see if they can figure their way back in this one, down 6. We're through 6.5. The Rail Riders have etched in a little bit more of a lead. They lead now by 6 after a 3-run top of the 6th inning. We'll see a change now here on the bump here for the Rail Riders. We'll see Austin Shelton. Shelton mainly the ace this season for the Rail Riders, but this will be his 4th relief appearance. 22.2 innings of work coming into this one. A league best 30 strikeouts. First pitch into Dakota Hogan, off speed in there for a strike. Shelton this season, mentioned 30 strikeouts, just 10 walks. Has a 3.7 ERA. Was one of the best pitchers of the entirety of the league for the first couple of weeks. Has gotten shaken up the last couple of outings, but trying to work here, possibly a 2-inning close down situation here for Shelton.
We know Austin Shelton can attack the zone. He's got 30 strikeouts and a 3.7 ERA, so he's either getting hit or striking guys out.
Yeah, the contact's been the big thing for him. Guys are hitting 287 off of him this year, so he finds his strike zone a lot. It's just, does he leave it over the plate a little bit too much? He gives up hard hits about 36% of the time. Usually, if you're a starting pitcher, you usually want to keep that low. It's about between the 10s and 20s. Shelton here on the 2-2. This one chopped over to third. A.J. Urbon comes up, throwing to first in time to Whit Rogers. And a strong first out for Austin Shelton.
A.J. Urbon makes it look so easy on the hot corner. His glove to hand transition is so smooth. His arm angle is so smooth, and he just makes the play look easy. He slows the game down. The ability to quickly work from glove to hand, it's phenomenal, and he's a really, really good third baseman.
Urbon at a Blackhawk College. Many of those who know at least high school football these last couple of years, T.J. Urbon from Millard South, they are related. A lot of guys that are related to some high school phenoms lately. Trent Colgiel from the Royal Blue Dogs related to Cam Colgiel from Millard South. A lot of different family here in Omaha, Nebraska. This one chopped over to Shelton. He'll take it himself. Step on first, handed off to Whit Rogers. And another quick inning here for the Rail Riders. Shelton trying to get out of this one maybe in 3 batters.
That'd be ideal if you're Austin Shelton. I mean, pitchers field ground balls too. I cannot stress that enough. Pitchers also, they also field, and that was a prime example of a pitcher putting in work on the mound.
Shelton now working on Logan Davis. Davis today 1 for 1, walked in the second and had a single in the fourth. Shelton working quickly as Davis will foul back the 1-0 pitch.
Yeah, the Cropdusters are not used to a pitcher working this quickly. Riley took his time. He was, kind of moseying on the mound, able to get comfortable. Austin Shelton's just attacking him straight from the get-go.
1-1 pitch is just inside to Davis. Shelton again. He's been able to find the strike zone a lot. Strike percentage is 63%, second best on the team amongst qualified pitchers. He's been able to get those first pitch strikes as well, just under 60% for first pitch strikes. Falling behind here to Logan Davis, 3-1. That one grounded, just fouled in the third base line. That's A.J. Urban. Now do a full count pitch coming here to Shelton.
You almost want to see if he can drop one off, get one swinging. I wouldn't want to put one over the heart of the plate. You don't want to give him a chance to pound one to the outfield. I would drop one off or raise the eyes.
Curveball grounded over to second. Nolan Chandler picks it up, throwing it first to the Whit Rogers is in time. Shelton with the strong first inning of relief puts down the Cropdusters 1-2-3. We'll head to the seventh. Rail Riders last chance to maybe add on some more as they lead this one 7-1. Top of the seventh here. 7 runs on 8 hits for the Rail Riders, 1 run on 5 hits for the Cropdusters. The Rail Riders, the 3-run top of the 6th inning, which we just saw about 15 minutes ago, has kind of been the difference, the reason why this game has kind of gotten a little bit out of comfort for the Cropdusters so far. The bullpen has been a struggle for the Cropdusters. Trayton Kozel came in and really struggled to not even getting out and gave up 3 runs. And the Rail Riders have put themselves in a comfortable spot for Austin Shelton or anybody else Jonathan Francisco might want to go to for the bottom of the 7th inning.
Yeah, and you got to give a huge credit to Jack Tilton. He came in, he's only thrown 1 inning, or now 2 full innings, but he came in not even listed as a pitcher and really was able to limit damage. He's really got to limit damage this inning.
2-1 pitches upstairs from Tilton. And back-to-back guys here for the Cropdusters bullpen that have not seen action on the mound in over a month. Tilton now walks Baker on 5 pitches. Baker's had a pretty productive day. He's was our impact player coming into this one. Is 1 for 2 on the day, struck out in the first, had that double in the fifth, and a sac fly, and now the walk. This is Derek Enertson, left fielder here today. He's 0 for 2, did have one of the 2 sac flies along with Gabriel Baker in the third. A huge lead over there at first. Does not go. Wonder how much Tilton is thinking about the runner over there at first. His first pitch is a ball.
Just based off that first pitch, he didn't even give a look over there. So Baker's taking advantage of that. I mean, he's getting a huge secondary.
Yeah, he's a third of the way down the line over there at first. As that one's chopped foul.
At some point, Jack Tilton has got to at least look over there, step off, get him to run back to the base, at least get into the mind of Baker.
4 stolen bases today by 4 different players for the Rail Riders. As this one's grounded up the middle, Childress steps on second, throw on to first, double play. Big 2 outs here in the 7th. He shuts down the Rail Riders a little bit. And Max Childress able to help out his pitcher, and 2 gone here in this inning.
You got to love the 4-3 double play. Right, I mean, was able to take his momentum straight to the bag. Tilton almost got to that ball, though, on the pitcher's mound, but a nice 4-3 double play to give the Cropdusters a little bit of an advantage.
This one skips in the dirt about 5 feet in front of the plate to A.J. Urban. Urban started off 0 for 2 on the day with 2 strikeouts, but then singled in the 5-6 hole and came around to score to start off the 3-run rally this past inning. 1-0 pitch to him as he flies that one near us up here in the booth.
I was so ready to make that play.
You're always ready.
I am.
Always ready.
I really want that fly ball.
We need to open up the windows a little bit. That way you get a chance. We have a little bit banana ball type of thing. Any fan that makes a play is an out. Any commentator that makes a play, it's 2 outs.
That would be something. That would make this.
Savannah Bananas. There you go. If your commentator makes a play, it's 2 outs.
There we go.
2-1 pitch upstairs for ball 3. And make sure to stay tuned here on the Corn Belt League Network. Right after this one wraps up, we'll see the Bombers and the Royal Blue Dogs here in our nightcap. Just 2 games here in the Corn Belt League here today, both of them here at Seymour Smith Park. And why not spend your nice Tuesday night watching some baseball?
It's a beautiful night here in Omaha, Nebraska, and that means it's also a beautiful night for baseball. Why spend your beautiful Tuesday night doing anything else but watching the Corn Belt League? Watch these college athletes put on a show here at Seymour Smith Park.
Ethan, you should be a voice guy for a commercial.
I should. Hey,
perfect.
If we ever do a commercial, I'm in.
Sign this guy up. Whit Rogers now, as he looks at a curveball, get in the corner for strike 1, shakes his head a little bit, maybe set an explicitive a little bit towards the dugout. Runner on first here with 2 outs. Tilton started off the inning with a walk, then Enertson grounded into a double play. And Whit Rogers here, 0 for 1 on the day. Or excuse me, 1 for 1 on the day with a single and 2 walks. This one flared out to right, a bat flip right there from Rogers. That one went about 10 feet in the air. And Rogers is just having himself a second half. He started off the season really struggling, hovering around 150 as a batting average. In the last 3 weeks, it's entirely changed as he finds himself another productive day. He's reached base all 4 times he's come up to the plate. 2 singles and 2 walks. 2 runners on here for P.J. Laux as he'll come up again for the 2nd consecutive inning. He was hit by a pitch from Trayton Colesville this past inning. Didn't also have a single back in the 2nd.
I don't think I've ever seen a bat flip on a single before.
It's Whit Rogers. What do you expect?
That's very true. The most electric man in baseball.
Most electric man in baseball. Get out of here, Ronald Acuna. Get out of here, Fernando Tatis. Get out of here, Jazz Chisholm. It is Whit Rogers.
It is Whit Rogers time, ladies and gentlemen.
Tilton ahead here. 0-2 against P.J. Laux. Trying to keep the deficit at 6 runs heading to the bottom of the inning. Curveball in the dirt.
I've been really impressed with how Jack Tilton's really approached these Rail Riders hitters on the mound. He's gone at the top 4 hitters on the Rail Riders today, and he's really handled himself well. He looks comfortable, and he's dealing.
This one driven in the left center gap. Long run for Cade Owens. He's able to camp under it and make the play for the 3rd out of the inning. 2 runners stranded here on just 1 hit for the Rail Riders. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th. Last chance for the Cropdusters. They need 6 to keep this one going.
No errors, 2 men left on base. 2 up.
Last chance here for the Cropdusters. They need 6. Austin Shelton is back on the mound for his 2nd inning of relief work. And the first one made it easy. 1, 2, 3, 3 ground outs on just 11 pitches. And an efficient start for him. And he's kind of been both working the starter spot as well as relief spot. Being even split now. It's his 4th relief appearance compared to 4 starting opportunities. Trying to close this one down and give this team another big win, much needed win. And he tries to drop down the Cropdusters to 6-14 here this season. 1-0 pitch, off speed, gets the corner for strike 1.
Beautiful pitch, but Austin Shelton's going up against 8, 9, 10, so he's going up against the bottom 3 hitters in this lineup, so it's an ideal lineup for him to go up against.
Braxton Wilhelm takes a big hack at that one. Wilhelm 0 for 2 on the day. The bottom half of the order is 2 for 5 with 2 singles and a walk between Wilhelm, Horner, and Copeland. 1-2 pitch. This one flared foul down the right field line. Strong run there from Garrett Glow, but a little bit too long. And it'll drop out of play. We'll do the 1-2 once again.
That was just out of reach. I mean, almost got that play. That would have been a really big first out right there. But, I mean, with Austin Shelton dealing, you almost don't even have to worry about that.
And Shelton doesn't have a strikeout so far, but currently leads the league with 30 strikeouts coming into this one. He's the number 1 arm all season long for the Rail Riders. Garrett Vosiga is kind of trying to be mainly the number 2. As right as I say it, strikeout right there, number 31 on the season for Austin Shelton, and he's been dealing 4 up, 4 gone so far in his relief appearance.
That was impressive command right there on that fastball. He was able, I liked that pitch mix right there. He was able to work the off speed, the breaking ball, and the fastball very effectively, and he hit all of his locations.
Caleb Horner now looks at the first pitch ball. And you mentioned that. I mean, that fastball could not have been painted even better on that outer half. That's kind of been the biggest thing for Shelton this season is he's going to throw you a lot of strikes. You have to be able to pounce on the one that's there for you. And he's in his rhythm and working very quickly. We've seen that from a lot of different Rail Riders pitchers this season. You see from him, Garrett Vosiga kind of works the same thing a little bit. We saw Riley Lang doing it earlier, Vinny Sargent. When
when guys get in their rhythm, it can be dangerous. 2-1 pitch is popped, and once again, Ethan, you were ready.
I was ready. I was about ready to make that play. I was about ready to unleash my cannon right there. I was camped underneath that one. I called it. Oh, man.
Like Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, Rookie
of the Year.
If there was no roof here, that's all mine.
2-2 pitch, grounded over to short. PJ Lauk scoops it up, throw on to first, just barely gets a step ahead of Caleb Horner for the second out of the inning. And the Cropdusters down to their final out. And it's up to the last chance here for Caleb Copeland.
We got to highlight the pitching, of course, but you also got to highlight the defense that has been behind him this game. He's had A.J. Urban that's made some beautiful plays at third. PJ's made some good plays. Artzer's made some great plays out in center. So he's had also that defense to back him up.
Yeah, no errors between these two teams here today. A pretty clean defensive day other than really one odd play that went up the middle off of Dakota Hogan. Really, despite that, this has been a pretty clean defensive day. Going to want to remind those here after the end of this one, just about an hour away from the Bombers and Royal Blue Dogs. Matchup between two teams working in the middle of the pack. The Bombers still just 2 games ahead of 500. The Royal Blue Dogs 2 games below 500. So 2 teams trying to battle their way near the middle of the pack. 0-2 pitch coming here to Copeland. That one lined right back at Shelton. He puts out the glove and makes the play. And that's your ball game. The Rail Riders win this one 7-1. They score in the first 3 consecutive innings and add on 3 more in the 6th. And shut down the Cropdusters for almost the entirety of this one. And the Rail Riders get a much-needed win. They head back 1 step closer to 500 at the 6th spot in the standings. And that'll be it here for our first of 2 here on Tuesday Night Baseball. We'll take a quick break here on the Corn Belt League Network. Once we come back, we'll talk with our player of the game and get you ready for Game 2.
Back here to wrap this one up at J.J. Isaacson Field, our first of two here on Tuesday Night Baseball. The Rail Riders win this one 7-1. They score in the first 3 innings, add another 3 in the 6th. I'm with our Kelly Supply Company player of the game, Whit Rogers. Whit, you're 2 for 2 on the day, 2 singles, 2 runs, and 2 walks. And the biggest, moment for you today was the single over to right, but a bat flip that probably went 15 feet in the air. You've been the biggest personality, at least in my opinion, in this league this season. You have a lot of fun out there on the field. What's that like for you?
Oh, it's amazing, man. To come out here and play God's greatest game, it's unbelievable we get to do this. And I can't even believe it. This is a great league. We see good arms, have great competition. It's just fun to get out there and play.
So for you come from Arkansas, had a time at Texas A&M, Texarkana. It's a long drive here up to Omaha, Nebraska. I know you're staying with 2 other players out from West Virginia, Westland. I know you talked a little bit to one of them today on the mound. Take us through a little bit of that talk over to Jack Tilton.
Oh, he was telling me that he was just going to gas me up. He told me he was throwing a fastball. I didn't believe him, but I still made it at bat, still got my hands through and just blooped it over. And it's just all about character then, just rubbing in his face. He didn't beat me.
All right, for you, not a lot of guys have been able to beat you recently. You struggled a little bit to an extent to start off the season, but the last 3 weeks have been an entire table turn for you. You're hitting over 300 now, and have just been one of the most consistent bats out of the middle of this lineup. What switched for you?
Instead of just getting out front and just taking a simple load, I tried to double load, and it's just keeping me smooth, stayed back, and just seeing the ball real good right now. See everything. See curveball, like my second at bat. I saw 2 curveballs in a row, and I knew he was coming back. Came back 5 in a row, and just got a walk out of it and felt good.
All right, so we're headed into the 6th week of this season here. Just about 2 more weeks until we get to playoff time. You guys are now 8-10, working more towards the middle of the pack, trying to drive up a little bit towards some of the topper teams, the Bombers and the Haymakers. What do you guys have to do to continue this momentum?
We just got to keep pitching, keep swinging the bat. We had a big problem, just keep looking at pitches that are down the middle to begin with. If we just get on it and attack fastballs, we'll be pretty good and just throw strikes. They've got a great defense, and we'll just get across the field. And if they can, I can always help them out on the digs.
Can always work. Thank you so
sir.
much, Whit. Our Kelly Supply Company player of the game, Whit Rogers. That'll end it off here in our first game of 2. Make sure to stay tuned here on the Corn Belt League Network. Just in about an hour, we'll have the Royal Blue Dogs and Bombers in our second game here at J.J. Isaacson Field. Tuesday night baseball coming right up after this.